Welcome back to another Hearthstone video. We have a challenge today, and this one has been a long time coming. This one's about the birds. This is an all-bird deck, and as close to an all-bird deck as it got. Because we are in Wild, we decided to actually exclude using dragons from this deck. Even though dragons are absolutely birds and would definitely count to this deck, we decided to go purist and play as birdie as we possibly can. The challenge is very simple, and it's the same that we always do. 3 games on ladder we get. It's in Wild, so maybe a bit easier, but we have 3 games on ladder. The challenge is we gotta win one. Now, there's absolutely no synergy, barely any synergy going on. Jan'la is the only impactful card that we have. And yes, exactly. Only minions, of course, because, well, it has to be a bird. So
listen,
let's
we
go
get
make
Spell
something
Wing,
happen.
which works with Vexcrow. Okay?
Yeah. You can see our deck tracker on the side, by the way. So as information, we got Priest. Playing against Priest. So I have not much of a clue about the wild mana. Let's keep the 1-drops. 2 of them, I'd say. Maybe Wind Fury and Bachi, I think. I mean, is Angry Chicken really better than Bachi?
Honestly, without any buffs, they're both equally bad. They're both just 1-mana 1/1s. Hey, we've got one good kind of bird thing.
That's the best.
Yeah, and what the viewer can see, right, is we're currently also playing this at the official bird rank. That being number 10 bronze Angry Chicken.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing that we're good at, it's branding, goddammit.
And you hop on Angry Chicken Wild, and people still play the Quest Priest. They can't get away from it. Let's go. Let's point the fledgling. Oh.
Sure.
Come face. We play bird aggro, in case you didn't notice. That's what birds do best. They fly.
I mean, yeah, birds can sometimes be rather aggressive. That's not exactly far-fetched.
Some of those birds, boy. Hit him with the bird. Oh, it's not very specific. Hit him with the fledgling. And health seems good, I guess. And yeah, that, and then we kill the 2/2 to keep it
That's
alive.
what I thought, right? You sacrifice our Snow Silver Penguin, oh no. And we hopefully protect our... well, the minion that people always refer to as the bird.
Like all of them. We can't refer to minions as the bird because they're all birds in this game. I have a feeling he's gonna die here somehow. No, I don't have it. That's good. That's
do we silence the? I mean, okay, yeah, we're that.
Well, but if we get like Divine Shield or help, we don't need to. Let's get Divine Shield.
Do we get Divine Shield? And I guess we play Vexcrow. Huh?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Maybe he sees that as threat and decides to go with it. Yeah, let's go. That's just a decoy, basically, to get him to hit the 3/4 in to the Vexcrow.
Honestly, that's what I thought when I thought about Vexcrow in the second. I was like, huh, it's more of a distraction than anything else, really.
I already got that first. That's the game. Nuts. That's not good.
So wait, what is it? It's Owl, I suppose, right? Oh no, it's... honestly,
possible, yeah.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think he could have had something better there. But still, our bird is dead. So
the question is, rock or owl?
Well, I think owl, right?
Owl, oh, yeah, right. Owl hero power, obviously. There we go.
Yeah. And smack.
Because
is another point clear there for 3 mana? We kick the Divine Shield, another point for 3.
I mean,
I thought that would have been something that he could have picked better. I don't know. Let's play Hero Power on bird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're playing good stats for its cost, huh? No one talks about Lost Hall Shredder, but it has good stats for its cost, you know?
They don't. I mean, yeah. Not as good as Ogre, of course.
I mean, the thing is, it is actually about equally good as Ogre.
That's a bird.
Oh, I could have
also
played
played
the chicken.
chicken.
Ah. Here's the thing, right? Albatross would have been really good if he had already played his Zephyrus.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I was also so mad that he got Zephyr like right away.
And CAtnCAuLKATXhAsLzAsyJA+, of course.
Sure.
And Raza.
Raza next turn.
Well, but we Albatross first. We kill the Albatross.
Okay.
Unless he polymorphs it. Which he could, since he has Raza. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, is the polymorph one of the effects, though, that he could actually play this turn? I don't think so. I don't think you can get it on like a one.
I don't think it's a cheap potion. I think it's in the 6 and 10, not the cheap one.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So
he probably
now,
got the 10, wouldn't he? Let's go chicken and rock. Rock the house, go face.
With the power of rock. Do we not kick it though in case he has Raza or
How do we win the game if we kick it? Like, we have to go face with everything. That's all we have. It almost doesn't matter if it has Raza or not.
Okay, Raza doesn't matter that much, but Dragon Queen could potentially be devastating.
But like even that, like if we can't take his face to 0 in like 2 different returns, it doesn't matter what he has.
You make a compelling argument.
And what do we need to actually do that? Like, we're running into the problem again where there's no swing and no control element. Like there's no tempo play and there's also no control play. No
I can tell you what our biggest impact play is, but the problem is we are like significantly far away from actually pulling it off.
Exactly.
Because Jan'alai takes forever without any buffs to the hero power, with like the Spirit of the Dragonhawk being the only one. Huh, I've heard rumors that CAtnCAuLKATXhAsLzAsyJA+ actually is a dragon, but you know.
You've heard rumors he's a dragon?
So
let's play the Fury here.
Our maybe very beautiful Dragonhawk.
Maybe he can turn himself into a dragon like we know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the idea is, of course, a lot of dragons have humanoid forms, and the humanoid forms, if there are Hearthstone cards, generally don't count as dragons. We've seen it with Wrathion as well.
Wait, Wrathion doesn't count as a dragon. Is that correct?
No, Wrathion does not count as a dragon.
Because we know that he definitely can. But Reno just turned himself into a dragon on accident. But I don't think that, like, if there would be a future Reno card as a human, he would be tagged.
Again, the Wrathion card in his human form also does not count as a dragon. And Wrathion very much is definitively a dragon.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, just because they're also humans, right? Like, imagine they were a human tag also. Which would you tag it then?
How about both?
Not okay.
Ouch.
Oh. That's GG. Yikes.
I like how his nesting rock doesn't have taunt though. But he might actually get a use out of the Vex Crow as well. Not to mention that there's like no way we can win this. And as a matter of fact, I believe we might straight up be lost, right? Yeah, no, he has lethal. I could have prevented it, but like, we're not gonna win. I believe Alex looks vaguely frozen. Huh. Well, the takeaway here is, I played this incorrectly, semi-intentionally, and we couldn't have won either way. And let's just see if he finds. I mean, of course he finds it, right? Like, there's no question about this right now. I'm gonna concede this game. I'm gonna see if I can get Alex back, maybe, and then we'll jump into the next one. All right, so we lost Alex in between this game and, well, at the end of the last game, I should say. And I'm just gonna finish this up real quick on my own, so you're stuck with me. Sorry about that. And let's hope that this game is not as much of a disaster as the last one, both in terms of maybe a little bit of suboptimal play on my part, but also just in general the matchup. We've got a mage that as far as I know, that can mean anything. Not much of a wild player, to be honest. I'm gonna drop everything but the 1-drop, hoping to get a 2 or another 1. Violet Spellwing is fine. I'm gonna definitely play Spellwing over Chicken in case he hero powers, at least I get the spell. That being, of course, Arcane Missiles. Pretty decent spell, you know, get to deal 3 damage either to the face or hopefully take something out at some point. And as per the last match, it's a quest deck. Just that this time it's one of the Angoro quests. And this is the one recently nerfed Open the Way Gates. So, you know, make of that what you will. But I'm pretty sure it's still very easily fulfillable, considering, as you can see, how there's a lot of possibilities of how to get those cheap spells, or how you get spells, and just in general, a lot of them are cheap, of course. If you want to know more about that, I can put a little info card in the corner about, we played a deck which only used cheap things, which also had some of the similar stuff. I didn't have the quest, but it would have worked rather well with the quest. I think I'm going to be greedy and I'm going to keep the spell here. And I'm just going to go all face, obviously. And I'm going to hope that I can actually get a Vexcrawl going, because while definitely this deck's not built for synergy, it's just built for, you know, play birds. I would like to make use of a little bit of synergy that I can. I think Tall Sword is a good play next turn, and I can play Vexcrawl on 5. Research Project actually helps me a lot, because we do still have a somewhat early game heavy curve, so having more small things to play is definitely helpful. Ooh, Fledgling. I'm gonna play Fledgling. I'm gonna be, again, a little bit greedy, probably. Gonna keep the Arcane Missiles again for the Vexcrawl turn, presumably next turn. But if that, somehow, that Vicious Fledgling survives, I didn't particularly expect it, but, would have, of course, been great. Of course, Iceland's off glyph, then there is this, and, you know, you almost got the quest done anyways. Wait, how far is it exactly? It's 3. And he already got 2 more generated cards on hand. As you can see, deck trigger signifies us with this little present thing. Technically, that just means generate a card. It doesn't necessarily... Oh, charge. Nice. Doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's a spell, but in this case, it very much is, of course, because that's all that he does. And I do like where we are at in terms of, like, the damage we're dealing. But I also know that his spells, of course, are going to be able to deal with it better and better as the thing progresses, and he got that off of Magic Trick, of course he did. Very important, kill the Vexcrawl. It could be dangerous, mostly because it has 3 attack, but, you know, for all he knows, we could actually play spells. And I'm going to play 2 small minions and a Nesting Rock. It's very unfortunate that we can't buff our chickens, because while they're not good in general, of course, the idea is to buff them, both Kobashi and Angry Chicken, to get them going, and that's exactly what I meant with he has ways to deal with this. How greedy am I to get 4 points of damage? I'm gonna get those 4 points of damage, okay. I will get those 4 points of damage. Pro tip, you can silence frozen minions and they get unfrozen. This is a very niche interaction, but, you know, don't say you can't learn anything from one of these silly challenge videos. And I can do it again, goddammit. I was hoping I could do it in the toss fair, but I guess I'm just gonna re-silence the guy here. The rock. You shall not freeze my minions, goddammit. And in theory, I have lethal on board. Of course, in practice, I doubt that that'll pan out with him having 8 mana. Yeah. And I'm running out of silences, so, you know, there's that. And if that is Flame Ward, that kills very much out of my board, although that wouldn't be a huge issue, because that means I could get most of my damage in first. Now, if, on the contrary, it's something like Ice Block, or Ice Barrier, that would be very unfortunate. So, let's discover a Mage Minion. Actually, if it's Explosive Roots, for example, I'm very fine with it. We don't do secrets. I think getting a random spell, as we've seen by our opponent's deck, is rather powerful, and we should make use of that as an effect, because we could just get something that kills him. Say it's Flame Ward, right? We hit him in the face with our Messenger Raven, and then the Tall Strider, and he takes 8 damage, and then we get a Pyroblast, and we win. Ooh, Enchantress Flow. Interesting card. One might consider running it in here by design. The question now becomes, of course, do I risk just pinging my own Tempest here, hoping to get something out of it? Or do I just wait? I think I'll ping it. I think I have to get something somewhat soon. It's Vaporized, sure. And I'll play the Dragonhawk, because honestly, even if it is something that kills it, I can't really wait on that. So yeah, unfortunately, of course, we didn't get a hero power into the face there, which is like the one thing we really like to do. And he got his quest done, and also just by the fact that, of course, generated secrets, you have absolutely no idea what he's going to do. Now, the question is, does he do an OTK, or does he just take it for extra value, the extra turn that is? I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see. Killing the Dragonhawk makes sense, but it mostly makes sense if you do not have a Flame Ward. Makes me think I'm gonna try for Vaporize. Gonna play the Spiral Wing first. Because honestly, if it is Flame Ward, which it isn't, it's just... Okay, it's just Ice Barrier. It's fine, I can deal 8 damage to him. And we know that the other secret is very small amount of things it could be. Duplicate, Effigy, Ice Block, Spellbender, and Splitting Image, as you can see on the screen. The only really worrying one would be Ice Block. Spellbender can't really be that bad, because we don't really do target spells. We do have another Vex Crow. If we draw another Vex Crow, that could be interesting. We did not draw it. I think I'll still have to play the Arcane Missiles right now. And now we threaten lethal, potentially, with just the Albatross and the hero power. Also, by the way, excuse the slightly inconsistent lighting here. I'm currently using natural sunlight, and, you know, that's not always optimal. Let's see what he gets off of his Primordial Glyph. Really strong card, of course. Not as relevant now that he has the quest done, but we'll just have to see. Okay, yeah, that does, at the very least, keep him alive. He does still have the Time Warp, which it seemed like he was looking at. I think that was the card he was hovering over. Yeah, that must be the... No, that's just a secret. Okay, fair enough. He has 2 secrets that could be Ice Block. That's not necessarily a situation I want to be in. 3 left. I cannot possibly play Janlight without having the thing done. I know how good it is to get Ragnaros. I used to play Odd Mage. It's really cool, but summoning a 7-4/4 is just not worth it. It's like the one good thing we have in this deck. I mean, okay, there's some other good cards in here, but like Spellwing is fine. Raven Familiar is a really good card, just not in this deck. Messenger Raven is probably pretty decent in this deck, because that's just one of the very few ways we can get extra cards. And I mean, it has to be Apprentice. Picking the Water Elemental there is of course the strongest one, but just disrupting our opponent a little bit while we ping him down with our hero power, it must be a good play. The question then is, of course, is he going to be able to play at some point an Ice Block if he doesn't already have one? And I'll take that. Is one of the secrets Ice Block? I assume so. And can we kill him the turn after? I don't know. Also, by the way, Cabal Crystal Runner, I really like it as a card. It's not particularly helpful here, but it of course gives you a random Warlock, Priest, or Mage card. Specifically running it in Warlock or Priest is pretty good because you can get Mage cards, which are relatively strong. And that is Ice Barrier. That's very unfortunate. I could have seen it coming, probably. Huh. If it's not Ice Block, I win. Okay, let's just focus on that, okay? It very much was Ice Block. But I have Ragnaros, which is not bad either. If he doesn't play another Ice Block, I should be fine. Even if he locks on the entire board, 5 turns to ping him down is a little much. Oh boy. It's the Antonitis OTK. It's the Antonitis OTK! The worst part is there will have been a turn somewhere where I missed like a point or two of damage and I could have won. Probably. Yeah, I mean he just has infinite fireballs. The basic thing is like if our secret were Ice Block, we would probably win. Since I don't see him clearing this board. If our secret's anything else, which I mean it's Vaporized, we know that. Yeah, we're dead. So that was very unfortunate. So yeah, for all of those who haven't seen this before, this is how quest mage used to work. So we are back with our final match for this video. Win or lose, hopefully win. It's Warlock. Again, it doesn't tell me a lot since I'm also not very familiar with the wild meta. However, I would like to think that with a deck that just goes face and does damage over time, facing a class that damages itself with its own hero power might be a good thing. Also, Messenger Raven on starting hand is decent value. It's not greatly statted, but if he doesn't kill it right away, a 3 attack is still pretty good for a 3-drop. Azran and Demon to his hand, not a particularly proactive play, so we're still ahead right now. There's Raven Familiar. That's good enough to drop. I mean, obviously, I was about to say, we don't have spells, which we also just kind of gave away. So, either he thinks we have some very specific use for it, where we have a spell that we really want to draw, and that we currently have in our hand already, or he's aware that we're playing bullshit. Dark Peddler, it's not the fastest card in the world. So what he's playing right now is mostly slow, from what I can tell. Meaning it's probably a more control-oriented archetype at the end, but it doesn't really look like he's playing control cards so far either. So I'm going to be very intrigued to see what he does here. Gonna play the Messenger Raven, obviously. Oh boy. I mean, I'll just take the 4-draw. Not a really huge question about it. I'll just play it on 4. It seems fair enough. It's not great in terms of stats, and it does kind of suggest to him that he should probably be trading. Well, that's in the file. And he got Murmy off of the Dark Panther. That's great value. I'm going to play the Albatross. Reason being, he's played some rather odd cards, and that is oftentimes an inclination of a Highlander deck. We haven't seen anything to suggest the contrary. So maybe he's playing some of these cards because he has to, you know, just fill out his deck somewhat after the Highlander stuff is done. Of course, Highlander will allow him to run Zephrys and Dragonpeel Extraza, but also cards like... Oh, he's doing... Wait, is this actually Cube and he just happened to get an extra Void Caller? That would be insane. Also, this game is pretty lost already, which I don't like. Okay, what I was gonna say is that he could also play Kazakus, was gonna be my point. But right now that's also honestly not nearly as boring as that Void Lord. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. I don't really have a particularly threatening board. And now he's gonna cube it. No, he's not. Okay, that's, you know. Take the little blessings. I can get a Nesting Rock going, which is potentially pretty neat. Robashi Chicken, Nesting Rock, there we go. So at least I have a taunt. Meaning that he might be inclined, based on how he was very actively trading before, though that of course was the animated armor preventing face damage. Maybe he's going to be inclined again to trade into the taunt, which would allow me to do more face damage. If he's not, then it's gonna take a while to clear this, of course. Thinking about maybe getting an owl, hopefully, or even just like a Spirit of the Dragonhawk. He is self-damaging rather effectively, and he played an Albatross, meaning that if he is a Highlander, he can Highlander right now. He can do Highlander stuff. That is not a great card. So play the Familiar. Hit in there. And I guess I'm just gonna missiles. I mean, that's pretty good. And I'm gonna just ping through these, and I'm gonna play another chicken to replace the chicken that just died, because, you know, gotta have a chicken on the board. We are playing a bird deck after all. Not that chickens are particularly core to this deck. I was mostly... Honestly, the idea to choose Mage came from the idea that it just had, like, the Vexcrow, the Raven Familiar, the Messenger Raven, just a lot of, you know, Ravencrow themed cards from the Year of the Raven. We noticed while we're building the deck to Genline exists, which is pretty neat. Spirit of the Dragonhawk's a bit of a stretch, but it is a Dragonhawk, so... Oh, it very much looks like Cube, yeah. He discarded both his Blood Reaver and the N'Zoth to resummon the Voidlords. Of course, N'Zoth was not in the original Cube block back when it was a standard, because N'Zoth at the time wasn't in standard. Tall Shredder is a pretty decent card. I can do this, so there's that. I at least have options to go face again, but also he has done a lot more impact here. But by the way, if it is Cube, playing Doomguard from hand is definitely not what you want to be doing. It's Cube. It's Cube. I would like to reiterate, we are on number 10, Angry Chicken. This is, like, pretty much the worst rank you can be unless you're in the beginner experience. And yet, people are playing very strong decks. And I suppose I'll have to kill one of the Doomguards, because otherwise I'm dead way too fast. It's just like, we run into Quest Priest, the fucking OTK Angoro Quest mage, and then Q-block. What happened? Did we have to see, like, the all-time greats of, like, meta-defining sort of decks? I guess we did. So yeah, of course, this deck was never particularly optimized, and its chances of winning are minimal. I'm actually, you know, I'm gonna show off really quickly. That's the rank we're at. It's, you know, that's, well. Also, by the way, this video very much explains why I'm still there, and yes, it's wild, I don't play that a lot anyways. But yeah, I mean, even if we hadn't faced, like, all-time great decks, the chances of winning are still very minimal. But I think that our matchups were very unfortunate. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, and us, or at least for most of the video, me, struggling mightily to try to beat meta decks, you know, leave us a like below, leave us a comment telling us other ideas for videos that we could make, if you want to see some other challenges, or if you want to see some other content related to Hearthstone, and subscribe to not miss out on any future uploads. You can also join our Discord server to be both informed about the uploads and stay in contact with the community and us. And until next time, that's it.